بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما وألهمني بالصالحين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I have to explain the unit, okay, and words to know are as I have told you. Open your cameras, boys. All of you, open your cameras. So emporium means a large store, okay, supermarket, whatever you call it, or just like you can, or you have visited the extra stores and the Carrefour and other pandas, etc. Engineer, engineer is a person who knows about machines. He knows about the functions and works of machines and is able to fix them. Handset, as I have told you, that handset is that part of the telephone which we held to speak and listen. There will be a mic and to speak, and there will be a speaker to listen. And the next word is brought to text somebody or something with a to poke somebody or something with a finger or other pointed object. So as I had told you that poke mean to strike someone or to hit someone, okay, slowly, and you know that the word poke mean to thrust forward, okay, to look forward or to come forward. So that was the thing. The next is went dead. So went dead mean when a thing stops working or when the charge goes out, okay, or it ends the battery that what finishes the thing that is out of order. So the title of the unit is sorry wrong number, and as I had discussed it with you that this is what the entire story is about, the new telephone connection, okay, that Mr. Kamal has, and he was so much excited, and not only he but his entire family, they were really excited because they were seeing the telephone for the first time. So the first day of the telephone, that was somehow a bitter experience for them because most of the calls they were coming ex wrong numbers, and the calls they were coming over there for an emporium. Okay, that most of the people, the customers, they had ordered things, but still they hadn't sent these things. So most of the numbers they are what they were coming, they were wrong numbers. And Mr. Kamal, he was somehow he was fed up such things. He was tired, and his son, he was also really upset because all of them they were wishing, they were desiring that if somebody calls us, that will be the better thing, that will be the best thing here. So all of the numbers they were wrong numbers. They were just for the emporium. So this is the story. And one call came from a person, okay, he was asking about the cinema, the picture, okay, that when will the movie begin. So that was the thing. And Mr. Kamal says that he hadn't what booked any ticket for the cinema, but the person he was over there with his missus, and he was just to deceive his missus, okay, that I have rented or booked somehow tickets of the cinema to see the movie. So that was the thing, and they really enjoyed this thing, that how clever the husband is. Mr. Kamal was pleased, and he had waited for a telephone connection for many months. Mr. Kamal was pleased. The word pleased mean happy. He was happy, okay? He had waited for a telephone connection for many months because his long wait was now over. He had waited for many months. For what? For the telephone connection. And at last he had one. And his long wait was over, okay? And he was now having a connection, a telephone connection. The engineers arrived in the morning. The engineers they arrived over there to fix or to connect, okay, or to give them the connection. They fitted a tiny black box. They fitted a tiny black box over there in the wall, okay, and connected a few cables to a tall pole outside the house. And the engineers they connected what? They connected the wires in cables to the pole outside home. As if you have seen, okay, they are just long, or we would say somehow tall poles, okay, outside or at the sides of uh, the road, that there will be all these things still in Pakistan. They are present. If you have visited Pakistan, maybe your parents will tell you that what are the telephone connections poles are, what are the telephone poles, okay. So pole mean a pillar like thing that, okay, stands by the road or all these things. What a lot of the noise they made. So these engineers they were making a great noise, they were making somehow a big noise. So in this small paragraph, we are told about the excitement and the long wait of Mr. Kamal, that how much he was excited to have the telephone connection, because he had waited for many months for this connection. And then the engineers they arrived and they fitted a tiny box over there and connected a few cables to tall pole outside the house, and they made a lot of noise, but Mr. Kamal was not going to mind the noise. But Mr. Kamal did not mind. He made the engineers cups of tea and helped them when he could. Mr. Kamal, he was happy. He was not going to mind the noise. Okay, all the panic and all these things. They were not what uh, considered. Even he was not going to mind all these things, and he brought cups of teas for the engineers, and he helped them wherever he was. But there are it was possible for him to help them. And after the engineers had gone, and when the engineers finished their work and they left, had gone mean they left, okay, they left their house or Mr. Kamal's house. Mr. Kamal sat and gazed lovingly at the smart new telephone in the hall. So now Mr. Kamal was over there to see, to enjoy his new telephone connection, okay. So he was sitting over there in front of the telephone set, okay, and he was gazing over there with great love, with great excitement. He was gazing the telephone, okay, and that was over there in the hall. He could hardly wait to his wife and son to get home. Mr. Kamal was unable to wait, okay, for the arrival of his wife and son. He was so impatient, he was so excited that he could hardly wait for their arrival or for their what comeback. Mr. Kamal picked up the phone and put it to his ear. Mr. Kamal was so much excited that out of excitement he picked up the handset, okay, and what he did, he just put that to his ear, and hello, he was just making a parody, okay, hello, as somebody has called him. There was no one on call, no one has called him, okay, but he was just what, out of love, out of excitement, he was doing what, hello, he said, yeah, it's Kamal here. How nice of you to call. Oh, it's Kamal here. Thank you so much for calling. Yes, I can hear. Yes, I can listen. I can listen to you very quiet and very clearly, or quite clearly. Pardon, forgive. The word pardon means sorry or excuse me or forgive. Okay, whatsoever you call it. Thank you. And then when you want to disconnect the phone, then what you will say goodbye or thank you. The words like okay, them those. So in this small paragraph, we are told about the excitement, the great excitement of Mr. Kamal that he was really excited to see the telephone. Okay, that nobody even had called him, but instead of just for the excitement, he picked up the handset and brought it to his ear, okay, and started to say hello, hello, just out of excitement. And he was just practicing, oh, this is Mr. Kamalu here, and I am pleased to hear you. I'm happy to hear you, okay? That was the thing, just he was acting like somebody has called him. Okay, coming to the next paragraph. Okay, Mr. Kamal put down the handset and smiled. He took out his handkerchief and polished until it glistened. When his wife and son Nadir came home, Mr. Kamal showed off the new telephone. So he was really happy. He was so much happy. Okay, and he put down the handset over there and he was smiling. He was smiling out of happiness. He was expressing his happiness, okay, because he had waited many months for this telephone connection, and at last his wish or his desire has come true. Okay, the telephone connection that is now in his home because of the engineers. So he put what? He put down the handset. Okay, he puts down the handset and he smiled. And then he took out his handkerchief. Okay, handkerchief, if you know that it is a piece of cloth just like the tissue paper, okay, or all these things. He put that out. He put that out, okay, the handkerchief, and he polished uh, the handset until the handset glistened. The word glisten means shine, okay, and he just polished the handset, okay, or the telephone set with his handkerchief, and then it was shining. It was what? It was shining. And when his wife and son Nadir came home, Mr. Kamal showed off the new telephone. So when both of them returned, Nadir and his mom, they came back home. So he showed off them the two telephone. Just he showed them off. He was showing off the telephone. Okay, just he was really excited, and once again he was acting like somebody has called him. The evening came, the telephone had remained silent till the evening. Nobody had called them. It was silent. Okay, but that had not stopped the Kamals from picking it up whenever they passed by. But instead of what, the silence that nobody is going to call them, but still the Kamals, they are picking it up whenever they are passing from over there. If somebody is going and coming, okay, by the telephone, they just pick up the handset. Okay, they just did what? They picked up what? The handset to, to enjoy it because they had waited over there for many months for the connection. The evening came, the telephone had remained silent, but that had not stopped the Kamals from picking it up whenever they passed by. Hello, they would say, and then carefully replace the handset. They would act like that somebody had called hello, okay, and then after saying hello, they would do what? Carefully replace the handset. Once again, with great care, with they will do what? They will replace the headset. They will what? They will put it down from where they had picked it up. So later, when they were all sitting down to dinner, the phone rang, burr, 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 went the telephone. Okay. So later on, when they were having their dinner, okay, when they were sitting over there on the dinner table, the phone started to ring, okay, and the ring was as you saw, okay, the whir, whir, whir sound of the ring. All three of them jumped up and rushed to the telephone. So all three of them, they just jumped, okay, they jumped from their places and rushed to the telephone, and they just ran towards what? The telephone. They started running towards the telephone. So they were really excited because this was somehow the first call that someone is going to call them. That was the thing. Okay, it's enough, and from tomorrow we'll move ahead. If anyone is having any question or any word that is difficult, I'm over here to explain that. The word pleased means happy, okay, when someone is excited. And connection, as you see that the connection means they are going to connect the entire setting from the pole to the telephone set, okay. And engineer, as I have told you, that the experts of making the machines and operating them. Then black box over here means the telephone set, and cables, as you know, the wires, okay. And tall pole mean that is somehow the pole where there is what? The setting, the entire setting of the telephone. And noise mean, as you see, that noise means when someone is going to make panic or sounds and voices, okay, the random sounds and voices. And to mind mean to what? To become upset, okay. And then uh, gaze. The word gaze mean to stare at someone, okay, or to watch someone carefully, okay. And lovingly means with love. And what is the next? Hardly means the thing that you do somehow scarcely, hardly, okay. And the next is pick up mean, as you know, when you pick up the phone. Then the next word is pardon. Pardon mean to forgive or to say sorry, okay, or excuse me, you can say. And put down mean replace, to replace the telephone handset from where you had picked it up. And once again, smile means smiling. And handkerchief mean a piece of cloth, okay, or as you see that what is that? Just like a tissue, okay. Polish mean to polish something to make it what? Shine. Glisten means shine, okay. And if there is any other word that you don't understand, I'm going to tell you. Silent mean without any expression, without any what? Movement, without any sign in somehow sign of life or activity. And if there is any word that is okay, if still you have any ambiguity or any question, anything that is difficult over here, you can ask me. Do you face anything that is difficult? Okay, boys, if there is no question, then thank you so much. And we will have to come to what? Attendance. Thank you so much and have a good day.